What is going on? It's Matt here with Flight Sim Guides. In this video, we're going to look at monitors. We're going to look at the widescreen monitors. What kind of a monitor should you have? Should you have a wraparound, maybe the three TV wraparound thing, or something else completely? All right, so let's dig in. I am looking at the Real Sim Gear website here. They had some good setups here. They had some good monitor setups, and I was like, oh, you know what? Let's take a look at these. I've used full wraparound. I've used just a single tiny monitor. I've used my laptop. I've used this 49-inch monitor setup the most. So I've had this 49-inch monitor setup here, and that is really good. I've liked that one the most. So when I first started, I had one like 24, I think it was a 24-inch monitor. And I was like, okay, this is cool. It works. It gets the job done. It shows me how I can set up my own flight sim. And then I was like, you know what if I could set up two monitors next to each other, and then I could have two monitors that it would basically be like that 49-inch ultra-wide setup, but there would be a bezel right in between. But I could take two monitors that I got for free. So I took those monitors and I was able to just set up a dual, like a ultra widescreen. It didn't cost anything. If you have extra monitors laying around, hell, I've got 3 or 4 of them sitting downstairs right now that I don't even know what to do with yet here in the new house. So I am working on that. I'm working on getting things set up, but those two monitors, as a beginner, just getting things set up, that was perfect. It didn't cost me an extra $1,000 to go buy a bunch of TVs or a bunch of monitors or a 49-inch widescreen. But here's the issue that I had with that over time was that bezel right in between those two monitors. It was bothering me because there was just a slight slant thing in the, when you're trying to land, things just looked off and it just bothered me. You do get used to it. And thinking back, if you're tight on a budget and you just want to make things work, just grab a couple freebie monitors or whatever, cheapos. You can get them for $100 off of Amazon, and I'm sure that's where they came from in the first place. So they work, they get the job done, but, could you do better? Yes, you could. So the next step up would really be the 49-inch monitor setup like this here, and this is really nice, especially if you get one that's got good graphics. So if you get something that's 4K or at least 1080, then you're going to have a really nice setup. So, but here's the deal. Here's the caveat on that. It's forward facing only. You're going to have, you're not going to be able to turn your head. You're not going to be able to look over to your left and your right and see, can I fly a flight pattern? What traffic is over here? What cool graphics are there that I can see on the left and the right? That kind of a thing. In a real aircraft, you're looking left and right. You can see all the traffic that's around you. These forward-facing monitors are great for instrument work. So if you're trying to maintain currency or familiarization or just trying to be somewhat more proficient in turning knobs and figuring out what you're doing to fly instruments in the cockpit, if that's your primary goal, then you don't really need to set up a giant 3-screen wraparound deal, and that's fine, okay? So I would just get one of those. I have it sitting downstairs. I would set it up again for that purpose. It is compact, so if you have a tight space to work with, you don't have to have 3 55-inch TVs set up all over your workspace. So that will take up a lot of space. Now, did you know that I actually created a program called the Quick Build Blueprint for your home flight simulator? It's going to show you guys real quick, give you guys the basics of how to design your own home flight simulator, get avionics, which flight controls to get. We're going to walk you through every step, exactly how to build your home flight simulator, VR or not VR, PC or Mac, all that good stuff, Microsoft Flight Simulator or X-Plane. Basically, we've curated all of the best videos so that you guys can learn how to create your own home flight simulator. Links down in the description. Go grab yourself a copy. That said, if you want to go a little bit bigger, I think if I were to do this again, I like the idea of that single TV, a 55 or a 60-inch TV right in front, right there like that. You also have the 3-screen wraparound setup like this. And I think that this is really going to do a lot for immersion, for the experience, the experiential part of this whole flight simming thing, and having this. So when I was in the Army, we would go and do flight sims. We would actually fly up and do flight sims. For instruments, we would basically fly with something like this. And but for the actual, like, hey, we're going to go out and actually do some real simming, it was something similar to this, but it was a wraparound deal at Fort Rucker. It wasn't this. This would have very specific, you got your forward and then you got your side monitors. You're going to have two specific bezels. So there's going to be some breaks in there where what we had was like legit wraparound, full motion simulators. It was pretty cool. That was not a homemade, stick it in your back room kind of a flight sim. That was, a pretty big facility that they had for that. Now, if I had to do this again and money were of no issue, here's the deal. These 3 monitors, you can probably pick these up for about $299, depending on what, if you want a good one or a crappy one. You can go down to Sam's Club or Costco or get them on Amazon, and you can get $300-400 is going to get you a pretty nice 55-inch TV screen. Not like a decade and a half ago when a 55-inch TV cost you over $1,000. A 55-inch these days is going to cost you anywhere from depending on, refresh rate, whether it's OLED or OLEDs are going to cost you a lot more, by the way. What QLEDs, OLED, whatever, all these different LEDs. Just grab something that looks halfway decent when you're looking at it. And hopefully something is at least 1080. 4K is, that's cool, but you probably don't need it. I think everything going 4K, pretty much everything's going to be 4K now these days. But get something that you can do this. You can, for the same price as a single 49-inch monitor like this, which, by the way, was around $1,000, you could grab 3 of these large screen TVs and then grab a couple rolly foot stands here that you can put your TVs on with a VESA mount on the back of it. And guess what? Now you have a setup that's it's very versatile. If you need to break it down, it can easily break down, and you can set that in the corner somewhere if you have some space to set this up. And you have an extremely immersive flight simming setup. So yes, if what's better? What's the question? That was the whole point behind this video. What's better, the triple TV wraparound experience, or a single 49-inch monitor setup, or something even similar to that with 2 screens that looks like a 49-inch monitor setup? I would say this is great if you're tight on space and your main goal is instrument training. This is fine. This will get the job done. You don't really need anything else. But if you're flying helicopters, if you're flying flight patterns, if you like the graphics and you're on Microsoft Flight Simulator or X-Plane 12, and you really just want to, especially if you're on helicopters and you want to fly around and kind of get that experience and just the graphics and really take that in, your triple TV wraparound setup is going to be where you want to be. Remember, in helicopters, you're looking for visual cues, so you're looking to the side, you're looking forward, you're looking down. You're predominantly flying helicopters, a rotary wing, you're going to want something like this, okay? I think that's pretty much it. I think I've made my points for this video. Those are my thoughts. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments, and I will get back to you guys soon. All right, see you in another video. Hey, if you haven't already done so, head over to EliteSimBuild.com, grab a copy of our Home Flight Simulator Resource Guide. Do that thing where you click the button, give us your email address, and we will send you a copy of our simulator guides where you can get the resource list, the avionics reviews, a panel blueprint, so that way you guys can send that off to your panel guy, get all the parts and pieces that you need. You'll know exactly what software to pick up so you can get your Cessna 172 flight simulator built today.